Hello and welcome to today's Lol Esports Round Up, where we cover the news of the last 24 hours. Board is once again pretty full. Yesterday we went over 6 teams. Today we're going to go over 4. Down in the description, you're going to see 3 links: Twitter, Discord, YouTube memberships. Go there, do whatever you want to do with that. I just finished a stream. I kind of just do those randomly. So if you are hitting the notification bell, you will be notified when I do stream. For right now, just getting my feet wet in it. In January, if the channel is still live when LPL starts, I am going to be live viewing all the games I watch, and I try and watch all of them. So I don't really care about sleep all that much, so I try and get all the games in, and I will be live viewing all of them. So the stream schedule will be the league schedule on lolesports.com. So Immortals decide on their coaching staff. Mabry is the head coach. Mabry is 57-60. Went to Worlds 2020 as part of the TSM coaching staff. Has kicked around a bit. I don't believe it has been like the head coach. Could be wrong. These are the teams that these is the records that he's accredited with. I think he was with Dignitas as well. So 57-60 seems like an Immortals kind of hire. Fredit Brion. So the LCK is starting to fill out the final slots on the rosters. I mean, I think Fredit Brion was the only one left. They've brought up Raptor from their challenger team. Raptor 283 KDA, 499 CS per minute, 74.8 KP, 18.4 kill share, 17.8 gold share, 7 champions in 20 games in challenger, and is still only 18 years old. So that is a thing. That there is a lot of room for growth for Raptor. Will he be allowed to grow with Fredit Brion? Is it a space that is conducive for growth? I would argue not really, but I am pretty openly not a fan of the way Fredit Brion plays the game. Now knowing how young and raw he is, I think this is just a situation of a player being called up way too early. He needs more time in Challenger. For him to be put in an LCK spot on a team that's probably not going to do that well, I don't think is going to go well for anybody, including him. Speaking of players on his team, Karis joins, played with HLE this past year. 203 KDA, 791 CS per minute, 68.5 KP, 21 kill share, 21 gold share, 13 champions in 46 games, and is only 19 years old. Karis, speaking of players that were put in positions too early that were not conducive for success, Karis, not in a situation that was good with HLE. HLE was a disaster. Karis is the only player they weren't really swapping all around. Just an absolute disaster, HLE. And Fredit Brion has the makings of being that this year. So it's just unfortunate because both these players, their numbers stinks. I mean, at least with the case of Karis, he's in the LCK, but Raptor under 5 CS per minute in Challenger, that isn't good enough. He spent way too long as a substitute on the team, in my opinion, as well, because frankly, the kid is 18 years old. You need to get him games on stage, games that matter. And having him scrim is not going to help anybody. And it's only going to cut into these scrims as well. So it's just a complete joke. Karis, 791 CS per minute, 68.5 KP. Guy is dying a lot with the 2 KDA. I know HLE stunk, but Karis did not help the situation, and the team did not help him. Just a complete mess. FlyQuest announced that Prince joined. We knew Prince was coming, so he is. 625 KDA, 1031 CS per minute, 73.3 KP, 38.4 kill share, 26.4 gold share, 9 champions in 41 games, 22 years old. I think I had him as my MVP for the LCK, if I recall correctly, in my end of season video. Aiming was second. Prince at 38 kill share has a lot to do with it. The 10-3-1 has a lot to do with it. He got ahead in his matchups, dominated, carried the team all the way until the end where he couldn't carry them anymore in playoffs, and they lost. That was pretty much it. Prince, a lot of people were upset that I didn't have him in my top 5 of my 80 carries. I want to see how he does on champions that are not Zeri and Sivir. I looked at this past summer. What was his win rates on things that weren't Zeri and Sivir? I think he went 16 and 12. That is not nearly as nice as the 27-14. Yeah, 41 games. You went 27-14. But you take away the two champions of Sivir and Zeri, and he's now 16-12. That's not nearly as good. So, got to see how he does in another meta. I think his Aphelios was 7-6. Like, let's be real. We got to be honest. Prince is very good. He showed a lot of promise in summer, but he has to follow it up with some, good performances on other champions. If the opportunity arises where he has to go in a different direction. Heretics announced their roster. So, this roster I don't think is that good, to be very nice about it. It's eccentric for sure. It's pretty eccentric. So we have Eevee in top lane. Eevee, formerly of Detonation Focus Me. Yes, the Japanese top laner. I do think it's cool that he is getting an opportunity in Europe. I think it's awesome that a team has decided to import from Japan. I think that's awesome. Now, the 212 KDA, 744 CS per minute, 56.7 KP, 16 kill share, 20.6 gold share, occurred at Worlds Play-Ins where he played 14 games, played 5 champions, including a Lilia game. Eevee is eccentric in top lane. He's got a Lilia, he's got Mordekaiser, Urgot, a lot of different picks that we don't normally see, and he's 27 years old. So his best days are behind him, that's for sure, and honestly, I would say play-ins. So, play-ins are definitely at the level of like the middle tier of the LEC and LCS. Middle tier and lower. That's why Mad Lions can't get out a couple times and this or that. So for him to put up a number like 744 when he's getting games against bad teams like Isuris and, well, no, wasn't he in EG's side? So what? He was against, Chief, sorry about that. Chief, Beyond Gaming stunk. So, like, these numbers are awful. They're awful. So, we'll see what happens. Yankos, we went over his numbers yesterday when G2 officially let him go. So, we're just going to go over them real briefly. 3 KDA, 491 CS per minute, 69.2 KP, 21.5 kill share, 17.8 gold share, 5 champions in 10 games at LEC playoffs. He is also 27 years old. So, top side of the Rift is maybe the oldest top side in the world. I wonder, that might be the oldest top side in the world. And even if you include mid lane, Ruby joined. Ruby played with Unicorns of Love last year in ERLs. Surprisingly, these stats are definitely something. So 443 KDA, 878 CS per minute. Very good. That's very good. That's warranting a upgrade from ERLs. 68.9 KP, 23.6 kill share, 22.8 gold share, 6 champions in 11 games at EU Masters, the highest level of play in ERLs, right? That's the end of season tournament. But he's 24 years old. That is the caveat. He is what he is. His hands are not going to get better. He may get better on the Rift with matchups and just gaining experience and wisdom, but I think the fingers are only going to move as fast as they've been moving. So, 878 CS per minute, very talented. Well, not very, well, more talented than I am. But he is probably LEC level. I don't know if he is going to be a gem. Get it? Because Ruby, gem. I don't know if he's going to be a real gem in mid lane for Heretics. Heretics, this team just really boggles my mind. So, Jack Spectre, 482 KDA, 892 CS per minute, 67.9 KP, 32.6 kill share, 25.2 gold share, 8 champions in 20 games at EU Masters, which they did win. But 22 years old, which is fine. 892 CS per minute, bad. Doesn't get ahead in his matchups, at least statistically. That gold number is high because he gets a lot of kills, which is good. Doesn't die a lot, which is good. I don't know if it really warranted him starting over Flackid. I honestly maybe think Flackid's better than him. Just looking at stats, I've never seen Jack Spectra play, so this is caveat. It's only stats. You could come onto the Rift in January or February and go 10 CS per minute and put up a penta, don't die, do whatever, win MVP. He could do that. I've never watched him play, but statistically, these numbers don't scream that. So, gonna hedge my bets on that one. Mursa is going to be alongside him, joining from Misfits, 353 KDA, 78 2KP, 8 champions in 19 games, only 20 years old. I thought Mursa had moments in summer where he really shined. A rookie this past year, if I recall correctly, definitely a player worth building your bot lane around. So that is definite. Well, at least they got a young bot lane. 20 and 22 years old. Flackid's 22 years old. I think that's why they brought in Flackid too. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure Flackid thought about it too. I have a good chance of playing here. If Jack doesn't do well, I have a chance. I think that's what that really screams here. Peter Dunn, formerly of EG, Mad Lions, Splice, I believe Team Ints as well in CB Lol, so he's been around the block. 76, 55, and 1 over his career as a head coach, at least being credited on Leaguepedia. I know for the last 2 years or so he's been with EG. They've had some success. Obviously, this past year, they've had success with younger players. So I'm not going to doubt that he doesn't know what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing. It's just an interesting roster, to say the least, with the fact that the bottom 2 teams do not get to move on after the first round robin. This team's in that conversation, so that's a thing. Comment down below with your opinions on the Team Heretics roster. If you've watched Jack Spectra play and you are not a Heretics fan, asterisk, give me your opinion, or Ruby for that matter. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member. And if you missed my video earlier today, I went over my top 5 supports. And thank you for watching.